to another match in the Zelda 1 2020 Random Percent Tourney, where this time we determine a winner in this winners round one matchup between Sharky2107 and Ellendar. I'm Leslie Pro. Tonight I am joined by Magic Friends. How you doing tonight?
Hello, friends. It's a great day to watch some Zelda racing.
Absolutely. And there it was a loser's remorse flag from the last race that we're gonna just pass it along right now so we have no suspense heading into level 9.
That means
Ganon is required. So you are going to need those silver arrows. So level 9 will be the roar and adore business. More on that later.
So we're going to see a deep race where we've got to dig out dungeons, we've got to actually find our items. There's no grab and go on this one. Ooh, and we're starting
by the coast. We've got a wand and wooden arrows to start. I like the wand start, because that's offense right away, and we are starting with unknown dungeons. Where are we, chat? Well, wherever we are, that is a very quick ladder thanks to a block clip by Ellendar. Sharky, on the other hand, is trying to set it up, not quite getting there. He's trying for it swordless? Oh no, he just got grabbed. That might be first quest 1.
Alright, heart on the coast, so that we're not coming back for that.
And we are starting with 4 Triforces. And Ellendar has come across paper. We don't know what they're saying, so I would be led to believe that the book's going to be a translator.
So a big thing for the runners to find out now is this first or second quest dungeons, because we're still wondering whether or not that technically could be 2. A ladder! Sharky already finds exploration.
Nice, and we've already found level 9 as Ellendar picked up on it, and it's either first quest 9 or shapes, because that was a right side starting screen. A second quest 9 starts you in the middle. Sharky's pressing on the combat advantage because those enemies went down in one hit. That is a bait block, so if that is indeed level 1, then level 1 is bait blocked, which would be our only bait block of the seed in terms of it being a first quest dungeon.
So, just in case we need one more item.
Good to know. That's info that Sharky's gonna have for later that Ellendar will not have, because Ellendar just grabbed the ladder and bailed.
Here. And Ellendar finds the sword up near the northeast corner. And a
take any right next to it.
No candle in the take any though, so they're gonna have to buy that candle and buy that meat. Unless they can buy
it. Or as an alternative, they could find the red candle, depending on where it is. If it's in 9, then that means red ring and silvers weren't forced there, and you will have to buy one as Sharky finds paper.
We also did find out that the items are at least shuffled. We don't know about the hearts yet, but the items definitely are shuffled because 1 should not have a ladder.
Speaking of shuffled, we got shuffled any roads. Let's see where this goes. That one's Candle Row. That one's also Candle Row. That's a very funny name, not. those are a bit, not very good any roads.
Yeah, just the only speed you can gain out of that is if you had to jump up to the level 1 area. I guess you could save about 3 screens by taking that one near the lake, but Ellen are already up to 7 hearts, so that's all of our heart containers.
Not quite. That was 3 take any's. And the heart, post heart.
Ah, so we have one. She has one more. They have one more chance to grab a potion if they find the last entry.
Both runners finding cheap hints at roughly the same time.
They're walking hand in hand.
Basically, that's a money-making game, and neither runner has the money to play, so pass.
So now Sharky's going to be making about the same lap that Ellendar did. He should find his sword up here, and a bunch of those take any routes, and should
But gets run over by an Armos. That's a 10 rupee small secret at the top of the Lost Hills, aka First Quest 5.
And we did we see a lake up at level 2, correct? So that means we're at least on Mixed Overworld.
Yes, but yeah, it's gotta be mixed because Monocle Rock does not bomb in second. Yep,
Wait a minute. This is not level 1. That right-hand side did not bomb and did not open. Is this 6?
If it's 6, then Sharky would be able to bomb to the left. And he is, so I would believe that this is First Quest 6 with Dark Nuts, which tells us there is an enemy shuffle active. Meanwhile, Ellendar finding the expensive hints, but can't understand them, so pass.
That wand's gonna make quick. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this is gonna be a quick room. Unfortunately, I was about to say, unfortunately, Sharky's not gonna be able to command a key, but that point is moot because a key dropped. A lot of dark rooms in this dungeon, but it is based off of First Quest 6, so that is to be expected.
That wand's gonna help them a lot with the combat, and it seems to be knocking out these Dark Nuts with 1 hit instead of 2, so we have some shuffling of HP on as well.
A blue Dark Nut also went down in a similar manner, so I am led to believe that we have 0 HP enemies on our hands, and that's going to make the wand extremely valuable, as Sharky just got the floor heart off of what would have been the boss room of this dungeon, which for First Quest 6 is a Goma.
If the runners can determine that that's going to happen every time, it saves them a lot of time from checking things on the floor. But with the first one being the heart and the coast being a heart, it's a good chance they're all going to be a heart.
Sharky's setting up with Kananaki and goes through perfectly. Now he has to back through the door to make sure it sticks, and he does. Now he's got a combat room to clear out, including stall posts, Dark Nuts, and Wall Masters. Oh my, and it's all First Quest as we got a map to First Quest 7 on Ellendar's side.
And we have Triforces in the Triforce room.
Yep, Sharky's gonna pick it up, even though he does not need it. That's just a quick way to bounce on out. And that also tells us the bait block is not required.
I'm sure saving that 80 some odd rupees is going to help him a lot, because he was panicking until he tried to bomb to the right and went, oh, wait a minute.
That was a good catch by Sharky in that moment, because that steered him in the right direction.
So Ellendar's taking a pretty decent-sized risk. Seven Hat tends to get pretty deep, but knowing that you already have the ladder, you should be able to navigate most of this as long as you don't get a really crazy key block.
Or a boss block, such as a Goma or Dig Dogger, as Sharky gets the sword. But even so, level 7 still has gorillas in it, which when you have the wand is no big deal whatsoever.
Now you see Ellendar trying to do as much as possible to stay away from using those keys, especially when we have vanilla quests. They want to have those keys available for Dungeon 1, and a lot of times Dungeon 8 really just gobble up keys on you for no reason, so they're trying to conserve as many as possible.
There's a bomb upgrade for Ellendar. Not able to afford it just yet. But yeah, you definitely want to save keys, and it's routing that I tend to use for this randomizer myself is to try and conserve keys as much as possible. Because, I'll put it this way, there are instances where that strategy is very rewarding. Hi, Aquamentus.
So now Sharky's got about the same amount of the overworld explored as Ellendar. He's just finding his any roads now. He'll find out that they kind of just plop in the middle of nowhere.
Speaking of middle of nowhere, that shoot room is leading to nowhere.
Still have not found an item yet, so this item is deep in this 7.
Yeah, and that can be major risk reward. We've heard the sabermetric story over the years. We've definitely seen instances of where going for the item payoff has paid off, and other times where it hasn't, as Ellendar smokes one Dodongo. Gets 2. And Troll Dongo is living up to its name on Ellendar's side.
He wanted that bomb
comes
plus...
into 7.
He wanted that bomb plus wall explosion, but Dodongo's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay away from here.
Yep, we can sum that up under the game nose. Unfortunately, not having a candle means you cannot tell where you're going in a dark room, so you just have to feel your way around. And Sharky's setting up another Kanana key just to wait for the gorilla to move into the right spot, and gets it.
Sharky's showing off a lot of knowledge here, and this is knowledge you don't learn from just playing vanilla Zelda. You've got to be a pretty deep randomizer player to know Kananaki stuff.
Absolutely. I didn't know anything about Kananaki until I started watching Randomizer, and it's how I picked it up. And Sharky does find our first push block staircase of the dungeon. This is a transport. Let's see where it goes. And right where Ellendar enters. Wow, talk about a coincidence.
Well, we know a lot of that bottom half did not have the items, so if Sharky just digs out up this top area, he's actually going to end up gaining time. Ellendar's going to go back the other way.
It is possible that the item is Dig Dogger blocked, which means the item would not be known without finding the recorder.
So we'd like to see an Aqua Mentis room somewhere around here, because that would give us our floor item drop, as well as help us confirm whether or not Heart Shuffle's on, and help us confirm whether or not the floor item drops are in their original rooms.
Well, we know the Triforces are going to be in their original rooms, with Ellendar getting the Triforce out of 7. Sharky knows where it is and is on the right path. It's just a couple of rooms south. Ooh, that could be ugly. Two-door Monty with the keys, and Sharky's saying, no, thank you. But I don't think there's a choice. And we've got ourselves a boomstick seed, folks. There's the book's for sale.
And that book probably also is required to understand old men as well. So probably not going to see any hints until maybe somebody picks one up.
Yeah, the hints are just like no words. Ellendar, for the time being, has purchased a blue candle, so that will allow him to get going with burning bushes throughout Hyrule. And Sharky found a bomb wall to get into the Triforce room, but is going to check the room to the right. Also worth noting that none of the shop prices are randomized in this seed, so we do have that flag on of having the prices unshuffled, and there's the large secret at First Quest 3.
So Sharky's still trying to find this item. We didn't see it off Ellendar either, so it's gotta be hiding in one of these deep corners.
I'm thinking it's Dig Dogger blocked. Sharky's continuing to bomb around, but now decides to just grab the Triforce out of 7 and get going.
So Sharky's leaving there a lot sooner than Ellendar did, unless we need to go back and find one of our important items. That'll actually save him a little bit of time.
Sharky was doing an indecisive dance there, and is going back in to probably try and dig that item out. I think it's blocked by a Dig Dogger, to be honest. He could also be going back in for keys, too, because only 2 keys does not seem like enough.
It looks like when he's pausing here that he's checking his tracker and trying to figure out if there's an easy way for him to get to a specific room. It's almost like he has a gut feeling about this, and he's just trying to figure out, like, I really feel like it's in this one room that I haven't checked, and I want to find it. And sometimes, especially when you've done a lot of races, you can kind of get tunnel visioned on this is the right answer.
And that tunnel vision, regardless of randomizer, can either be very helpful or it can come back to haunt you. And I have had plenty of personal experiences with both. And our Armos item is the raft. Ellendar claims it at the Armos spot.
Alright, Sharky cleared out all the bottom section of 7. Doesn't feel like fighting his way back up to that transport staircase to get to the top half. So he's out. He's going to have to hope that nothing in there is needed.
And on Death Mountain, we got ourselves a dungeon that's reminding me of Pepto-Bismol for some reason. And that was a screen-scrolling pirouette that Ellendar did. By scrolling the screen in the direction that he did, he was able to get rid of that key door and save a key. One of the details that Nintendo didn't tell you about when they told you about pirouetting in First Quest 1 in Nintendo Power Magazine all those years ago. That's level 3 that Ellendar is in.
So 3 generally has a lot of bomb blocks, but those little corridors and the corners can really screw up your key counts. So Ellendar saving those extra keys. Ellendar is currently 4 keys ahead of Sharky. That could really play into a discovery advantage for him.
Oh hey, we got a manhandler. It's in a moat room, and the bomb only gets 2. Only gets half, second bomb gets the other half. I'm guessing the heart's in the boss room still. But hey, when boss old man Triforce, and Ellendar's the Triforce out of level 3.
So do you dip this again, knowing that it's a smaller dungeon and you still need items?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Because the Ninja Star is a small dungeon, it's not going to take you a lot of time, and depending on where the key doors are, you should be able to get around them with bombs, because First Quest logic, the bomb walls in the first 3 dungeons will break if the rooms are connecting, unless there's, say, a transport staircase on the right side of a wall where you're trying to bomb through the left. I believe Sharky is closing in on that First Quest 3 location.
Yeah, he's gonna
and we found the potion shop, and
today, Coke beats Pepsi.
And this will be the heart container room, as this was Manhandler's room in First Quest 3. And Sharky, I believe, just got the raft. Nope, now he did. As for Ellendar, the item is the bow. First Quest 3, the place to be.
So that's bow, the heart container, everything out of 3 for Ellendar. They're off to another dungeon.
Yep, and with just 4 and 5 left to clear before heading into level 9. Sharky's about to head into 3. I gotta ask oh, okay, I'm off the screen, but still, the point I was gonna ask is gonna come up anyway. If I have the bow without silvers, do you run into 9 thinking that the bow, rather red ring and silvers, are forced to the dungeon, or do you continue exploring?
I myself am a math guy, and I also tend to have trouble if 9 has a lot of whiz robes. So I'm okay with exploring other dungeons. I'm gonna full clear 4 and 5 no matter what. And then I might think about finding 1 and checking it. Just because you could also find the red ring, which will help you figure out whether or not you need to be in 9 or not.
Yeah, finding any of those items could help. Oh, speaking of, this could be First Quest 4 right here. Sharky's gonna want that key, but this is not the easiest of rooms to navigate. He's got it.
Feels like he's in a diagonal room?
Yep, he is, and he's gonna bomb this wall, but this is a First Quest 4, so it's the north wall that would be bombable. And he gets shot by the Wizrobe. Ouch, that was rude.
I don't even think he saw it. I think he saw, like, the Stelphos and was like, ah, whatever.
So he uses the knowledge of the dungeon to bomb to the left. Yeah, good move to get away from the Wizrobes before they fire.
This is feeling like... What dungeon do you think this is? I'm starting to think maybe it's an 8? Could it be?
No, this has got the look and the feel of First Quest 4. And we got Ellendar in the map room, about to find out. As soon as that was at Gibdo cooperates. Oh, that's nasty. A tea room there? Oh, gosh.
So Ellendar is trying to do a screen clip over to that map, where if you get on your ladder and then can do a regular screen scroll, you will be able to jump 1 square on your ladder to the other side.
Yep, a number of us reference that as ladder clipping. But Ellendar is going to find another way around, and is going to do so through the Triforce room.
Yeah, ladder clipping is one of the more difficult tricks because there's really not a great visual cue. There's not like a good line on the ladder that tells you where you're supposed to be standing. It's really just a thing you gotta feel.
Oh look, we found where the wand actually is in 4. So now instead of checking the map, Ellendar is just going to grab the Triforce out of 4 and take off. Sharky, on the other hand, gets the ladder the map on their side of the T, able to check it, but good turn to turn back. Because really with a dungeon like this, you want to check every corner, just to be on the safe side. Ellendar finds a door repair. Sharky finds an old man who wants to play 2-door Monty.
Lucky for Sharky, that old man is actually pushing him back to the south where he's going to find his item and his Triforce and get out of here before he has to spend those keys.
Interesting spot that Ellendar's in. Where could we be, chat? Well, Ellendar has a floor heart. Sharky's now gonna grab the Triforce out of level 4. Level 3 is nearby, and he does need to clear that to get the bow.
Wed saying that looks like 5, and I agree with him. This is Digdogger's lair right in that room Ellendar just walked through. This is the last Triforce for Ellendar, so they might be looking for 9 soon.
I'm not sure what Sharky was doing there, letting the Lionel shoot him in the back. But, oh, geez, that could be bad news right there. Because that's an overworld death right outside of level 4, excuse me.
Yeah, we've already seen the Any roads. We don't have a recorder. It's going to be difficult for him to get back up on that mountain without doing a lot of checks on the way.
Well, first quest 8 ain't opening. And now Sharky sees the news about what kind of seed this is, a boomstick.
Ellendar is 1 room away, bombs north, that's the Triforce. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 9 play starting right now. Looks like Ellendar is going to go ahead, clear off a little bit more of Death Mountain, and then retry and head north.
Sharky is currently 19 rupees away from being able to afford that book for the boomstick. And now with Ellendar in level 9, we're after... Yeah, we found level 9 early, so we're after 3 things today. First off, we are after the silver arrows. The other 2 things we're after, a roar and a door.
That's a door!
We already have a door already, which is a single shutter door that stays shut when it's cleared. We just found that very early, so now the question are... The roar, which means when you hear a boss roar and there's no boss in the room, Ganon's in an adjacent room, and we need the silvers to be able to take down Ganon. And there are 6 transport staircases in level 9 along with 2 basement staircases. And that one sent Ellendar right into a Wizrobe firing squad in the northwest quadrant. Yikes.
So normally, if you come in here with silvers, a lot of runners are just going to ignore staircases as much as possible. But when you're looking for those key items, a lot of times you're going to actually check every staircase, because going through it checks 2 different sides of the staircase. You don't have to check the other one again.
Ellendar taking a hit from the bubble, not able to finish off the Wizrobe as a result, but that apparently did when I was talking about it to get through that room. Now we've got some miniature Zols known as gels. They don't drop anything under normal circumstances, and are really just a minor nuisance. Meanwhile, Sharky's in another level.
Looks like Sharky Grum jumped into 8. I didn't see where he found 8, but he's hoping to find the silvers here. That'll put him back in the race.
Yeah, this is what Sharky needs right now to get back into this, because he missed first quest 3, which had the bow. If silvers are in 9, well, it would be a very long uphill battle. If the silvers are an 8, then Sharky's right back in this. And Sharky has found a blue Goma. Oh, look, Ganon is actually not in his room this time.
Which also means that the princess doesn't have to be in her room either, so we might be able to get into that princess room that's locked from a different angle, and that might save us some time after we kill Ganon.
Ellendar, on the other hand, out of bombs.
Yeah, this is a nasty feeling when you're digging out 9, when you don't have one of your key resources, either bombs or keys themselves, and you just have to start spending the other one and hoping that you get there before you run out.
Except that's a room where you sorta need bombs.
Still, that's, I think, about 3, maybe even 4 staircase sets we've seen on Ellendar's side. So they're getting through a lot of the staircases, which is not the ones they need.
Meanwhile, Sharky runs into a manhandler, and yes, it is 8. The manhandler was guarding the map. Ellendar, out of 9 temporarily, might be off to either, I was gonna say 5 bombs or a boomstick, but then a bomb drop happens, and an item, we got a reporter in 8. This opens up something potentially nasty. Bear with me for a sec, chat. If the silvers are in 7 underneath a dig dogger block, then Sharky still has a chance. But if they're in 9 and Ellendar finds them, then it becomes Ellendar's race to lose.
Well, Ellendar had to up A to get back to start. Had to go farm those bombs up, so they're going to have to clear some of these wizard rooms again as well. That's not going to be fun, but it'll at least let him explore more of the dungeon.
And Sharky is 5 rupees short of being able to buy the boomstick. Probably gonna just start killing enemies for that blue rupee drop on the 10th one, which is a force.
The blue Tektites not being kind, normally they are in the blue rupee drop slot, but they just don't decide to have them out.
We got danger noodles in 9. Those are the ones that are literal danger noodles because of how fast they move. And Sharky gets the boomstick while Ellendar gets taken out by a Wizrobe.
Yeah, this is the hard part about going into 9 so early. We really didn't find a lot of hearts other than the ones on the overworld. We didn't find any money to get a... Well, Ellendar has enough money to go get a blue ring, but I didn't even see a blue ring shop while we were digging.
Same, I haven't seen that.
So when we're in here, as soon as we die the first time, we're in here with 3 hearts and a dream, and Wizrobes still do 4 damage with their beams. So sometimes you can just get one shot even from spawn, and you know, it gets in your head, you're running around, you're like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. You go a little too fast, and bam, beam right to the face.
Like a race car driver going too fast into a corner. Doesn't end well.
Oh, Ellendar
First
gets
quest
back to
four is a potion shop.
Ellendar gets back to the room they needed and finds another transport.
Gonna have to go through a key door here, regardless of the way they go. Can't finish off the blue whiz robe due to bubbles. This will frustrate even the most veteran of Zelda 1 players to where you just can't get the sword strike off because the enemies are you're just getting trolled.
Ellendar's got about 2/3 of this level 9 that they've seen and has no items to show for it. That's gonna start getting frustrating.
As for Sharky, they're in level 2 as Ellendar has found a Patra. Now there is a hard drop here plus an item. Question is, what's the item? As Ellendar finds the map for 9.
I guess Ellendar has a little less than I thought. They kind of went down the same path a couple times after dying, so their exploration is still...
Run over.
Another Patra blocking another potential stair.
And Patrick can also mask the roar of Ganon too, so that's another thing to keep in mind. And Sharky has blown the flute. Definitely in a new part of 9, as we have not seen this yet. Unfortunately for Ellendar, that old man's blocking the wall to the north. And that's another Wizrobe Beam.
Ellendar is that a dungeon on a raft location? It is.
Yes,
level
it
1
is.
On a raft.
That's a pretty interesting trick there, game, as by using recorder to beaten dungeons,
So
even though you haven't been here, you've already found a way here, which circumvents the raft need, and there's the level 1 Triforce, which Sharky does not need unless he wants a health refill. Here's the item staircase, and Aquamentus is guarding it.
So it seems Ellendar, in that room they took the Wizrobe death, heard Ganon, and then got shot in the head.
And that is a power bracelet that is probably not needed. But there's still one more item here. It is a floor drop, but Ellendar taking another Wizrobe Beam. Unfortunately, death spirals like this can happen in Zelda 1 Rando. I know I've been there.
I know Ellendar in their head is thinking, like, do I go find the blue ring shop that I probably marked, but it's probably in a terrible location? Or do I just tough this out? But you're in game 3, you gotta worry about your opponent hitting that dot done.
Oh, this isn't in level 1, it's a shoot room. Oh, shoot.
Now, one thing Ellendar could do that would be really wise is the next time they have to clear that first room with all the Wizrobes in the staircase room, just leave one bad guy on the field. And if you do that, the room won't reset until you clear it. That'll help them if they ever have to go back through there again.
And the floor item's a big shield.
That's a big nope.
Not for Sharky. Wizrobe combat is a pain, and sometimes that actually helps those who struggle with it. But it is easy to lose with, say, if a like grabs you, you lose that thing in 4 seconds.
Yeah, Sharky needs to find this bow, or hopefully stumble upon the silvers outside of 9.
I don't think we've seen this push block yet. No, how many sets of stairs is that now? That goes up to the corner.
That is somewhere we haven't been yet, so we've got new exploration here.
Well, it's not going to be here, because here is a Patra.
Well, we haven't seen any second quest push blocks yet, so very unlikely that one starts today.
Yeah, that would be extremely inconsistent if that were to happen.
The entire race has only one second quest push block, and it's the most important one.
And we found the ring shop in the woods, and this one actually requires the power bracelet.
So Ellendar's, this most recent path has led them back to the areas they've already checked. Now they're going to try and bomb left here and hopefully get into another section of the dungeon.
So far, no dice.
Ellendar was able to go pick up a potion, though, so that's going to let them dig a lot deeper here, as long as they can keep that in their inventory until they need it.
We got ourselves another Patra. The Expando Patronum gets shut down immediately.
Well, Ellendar's got to be careful here. They're running out of... Now they're running out of keys. They've got the bomb count up.
Speaking of, there is a key. Looking for a bomb hole, but does not find it. Does find one here, though. Here's another new room. This one could be the moment of truth right here, potentially. Nope, it dropped bomb. Probably knew I was gonna call it out. You see, the game knows.
If you get a floor drop in a push block room, it's not a push block room.
That's one of the ways the game tells you, you get nothing, you lose. Ooh, spiral staircase. I don't recall this.
No, this is new, and at this point, Ellendar's seen all but the downstairs.
There's the silver arrows! Ellendar's in go mode, just has to finish it.
They heard that Ganon. They've just gotta figure out what's the correct path to get up to him, and then up A and move north 2 screens for the win.
Yeah, at this point, this has become Ellendar's race to lose. It's not over yet, but Well, the thing for Sharky is they just got unlucky with where the dungeons were. Ellendar was able to find them fast and able to get all 8 Triforces in relative short order because, well, sometimes when it comes to exploring with Cave Shuffle, some days the odds are just in your favor.
Yeah, Sharky had a bit of a problem with some overworld combat, getting killed by Lionels on 2 really bad screens, and it left them pretty much in a bad spot for exploration, where they ended up deciding to go do stuff that Ellendar didn't have to do, and that was about it.
And speaking of that's about it, Ellendar's found Ganon, taking him down. We got Bacon, and it's just a matter of time now. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, get your GGs in chat for the match and series winner Ellendar, who clocks in with an official SRL time of 49 minutes 55 seconds. Sub 50. Wow.
Congrats to Ellendar. We can say all we want about how well Sharky routed things and stuff, but Ellendar really just jet moded a lot of this seed. Even if Sharky had found the things that he needed to, he would have only been able to keep up pace. He wouldn't have been ahead. Ellendar did a phenomenal job.
We are now joined by Ellendar. GG, that seed was extremely well played.
GG, man, I am glad that night paid off.
Did it ever? Because you were in there for a while, and I'm not sure how many staircases you had left by the time you found the silver arrows. You might have had, like, maybe one other.
I had found all the transports and neither item. My plan in 9 was go in there, find the first item. If it's red ring, keep digging. If it's anywhere else, leave. I had a bunch of like easy accessible dungeons I could have done. And somehow I cleared 80+% of First Quest 9 without finding either item in every transport. I'm like, man, if this doesn't pay off, this is gonna suck.
There was a lot of trolly wizrobe rooms in that dungeon too, and going in with not a ton of hearts and no rings, that was really messy, but you were able to pull it off and keep your cool and get through those rooms. How did that feel?
It felt good. I had enough money to buy a potion, and I came in with red potion. I figured, well, I was fairly certain by that point that bosses were 0 HP, which it turned out to be, but I still want to have a potion for Ganon, if only, to not get just randomly Hyrule Driver to die on Green Tunic. And there was a potion shop near-ish where I was, and I wasn't sure whether to spend, aggressively use potions and then save to buy another potion, or, honestly, I was tempted to go buy Boomstick, but it was a bit of a walk. That would have probably helped out a lot, because I think I had to go back and farm bombs 3 times. But, yeah, man, those wizards. I mean, with 1 HP, they're not the worst, but, you just come out and you're dead.
Yeah, that was definitely an unfortunate death to pop out of the staircase. Boom. Not much you can do there.
Yeah, also, they weren't dropping bombs. I'm fairly certain it was vanilla drop groups from what I saw, and I was just never getting bombs from the red wizrobes. It was frustrating. But I think the thing that got me the furthest was definitely doing that early Death Mountain check.
That made all the difference right there, because you found level 3 and got the bow. You were both in, I believe, I want to say level 4 at the same time, but Sharky never found 3 and is currently in 5.
Yeah, Sharky took an unfortunate death up on Death Mountain that kind of rerouted him to pretty much every other location he could go check.
I probably would have done the same in his position, but that sucks. if I'm near First Quest 1 area, or if I'm doing Deadwoods and I have bombs, I'll almost always loop up and try to do as much of Death Mountain as I can while I have bombs, because it's a pain to go back. You really don't want to go back there, and if there's something else important, you're just going to check everything else first.
So,
Go ahead. I had a feeling we were about to ask the same thing anyway.
well, I was gonna ask, do you know who your opponent is for next round, Ellendar?
I don't. I knew what the bracket was, but I didn't see who won.
All right. Well, Ellendar, you'll be facing Bogey Smalls going into round 2.
Oh, fun. It's a rematch from the last tournament, I think. Bogey's a pretty good player, so that should be fun regardless.
Yeah, that series is definitely going to be a good one. We've got another good one coming later tonight at 10 o'clock. We've got Jay Coper against Crystal Saver. Oh boy.
So Sharky is decided to keep going. So give him, if you haven't already, jump over to Ellendar and Sharky's stream. Give them both a follow for putting on such a great performance today. Especially for Sharky sticking it out here. He's like, I'm gonna finish this. I don't care. So was that the same question you were gonna ask?
Yeah, that was along the same lines that I was going for. And that is a bomb upgrade of 100 rupees for 4 bombs. The other swords were replaced by bomb upgrades, so all you were getting was wood sword in this seed. Oh hey, there's the any key. I think 5, and he's just rage blasting it. That's good stuff.
When you have 2 keys, the any key never shows up, but when you've got 12, it's like, there's the any key. That's what I need.
Yep, that seems like par for the course for Zelda 1 Randomizer.
So, Ellendar, was the Ganon required your choice of loser flag?
It was.
That's a really interesting loser flag. What makes you? How does that give you an advantage as a runner? Like, do you feel that helps you a lot?
I don't know how much of it is an advantage, and much of it is me getting frustrated that I lost a whole bunch of time in both of the previous races to day 9 earlier to not get any value, and then come back later. I think, especially with Ganon so often having reduced or no HP, it's not that difficult in these seeds, although sometimes you can obviously get, some wood sword only high HP Ganon seeds, but I don't know. I think it was just my frustration at how random some of the Ganon rush-ish seeds can be.
Well, that makes sense. I feel like that kind of benefits somebody who has a lot of experience doing like different routing and just being able to pick up on the logic. It seemed you were able to quickly understand that the Triforces were going to be in Triforce rooms, that the heart shuffles were going to be in the heart rooms. So it seemed like you picked up on that a lot sooner than Sharky did, and it gave you an advantage. It was a really well-picked loser's remorse.
Well, thanks. I'm trying to get better with. I don't have very much experience with the vanilla games, so I've been trying to learn a lot of. Oh, the vanilla is actually this, and that's something to keep out for. Versus I'm used to just random is random.
Yeah, my experience with vanilla in this game is fairly limited as well. Because I have more experience with A Link to the Past because I played that more growing up. This game's still fun though. When you're playing, well, for me at least, it's fun until things start going south. Oh, wait a minute. That book, even with it, we're still not understanding anything that's being said. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, with short text, I think short text is a separate setting, so like it doesn't. If you have short text, it doesn't matter what the Atlas flag does. You don't need to see it anyway.
Sharky's found level 3.
I'm wondering if he realizes this is 3. He's kind of going in the tank to figure out what's going on. So, with Sharky, Sharky will next round be fighting against Ellendar. So, there's with the brackets of this tournament, I believe you can check it out the brackets for the tournament at challenge/Z1 Random. That'll give you an idea of who's racing. There's a lot of people in the losers bracket that you would not expect to see there. And then there's me.
Yeah, I think with them randomly saving this bracket, there's just going to be landmines everywhere of really tough, exciting matches, even in the losers bracket, even early, so should be fun to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately it didn't work out for me this time because I had a controller malfunction, but oh well, there's always next time. As Sharky finds the bow and now has one of the 2 needed pieces to beat Ganon. The other one's deep in 9 somewhere. Whereabouts in 9 were the silvers? Because it seemed like we were everywhere there.
Oh, hey, Zelda's room.
That'll stop you from bombing into it.
Well, that explains why, Ellendar, when you were going through 3, you couldn't bomb towards that left side. It would just happen to be Zelda's room was blocking it. As Garion suggested almost 45 minutes ago. Alright,
That would explain that.
Yep, as Garion was saying, only 2 ways the wall couldn't bomb, and the stair was to the south.
So looking at other matchups coming up for the coming week, we have no matches tomorrow for Easter, but we're back at it on Monday with my CoCom Magic friends taking on Angel FM in Game 1 of their series. That's at 4 o'clock. At 7 o'clock starts a doubleheader between Truant Gamer and Adirondack Rick. And at 10 o'clock, we'll be TA909 against Shaddy. And that concludes everything for Monday. Tuesday only has one match so far. Fury SK versus Captain Green. And then looking ahead to Wednesday, we have got Thurwolf versus Sea Falcon at 6. And then at 7, a double header that'll be held by our friends on Speed Gaming between Crimson Avix and the Lack Attack 24. And the commentary for that one has already been set up. Then that commentary team is going to be JSR and TGE. Now, when the race and the commentary are both going to be A+ level, oh boy, you are in for a treat.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't see Lack Attack. If you haven't heard Lack Attack's name, that is because Lack Attack is not normally a randomizer racer, but he has multiple times been the world record holder for the vanilla speedrun. A lot of his videos are things that if you're learning the game, watch a lot of his stuff. It'll really help you to understand how to do things like clipping through things or do combat, and his movement is phenomenal. So it's a treat to get him in this tournament because, well, you're taking somebody whose expertise is just doing the same thing over and over again and putting him in a spot where it's like, anything could change.
Yeah, that's a good point, because in these flags, just about anything can change.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that, Fury. It's a really even matchup, but it's like even for different reasons. Like if the seed has a lot of like first quest stuff and is kind of vanilla-y feeling, you could see Lack Attack blitzing it out. And if the seed is, a lot of shape stuff and a lot of, rooms are hidden and extra bosses and stuff, then it flips the other side.
There's also the execution factor, and both of those runners are extremely good at execution.
Yeah, the micro of actually fighting the enemies, that's going to be the best you'll see in the tournament so far.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think of how many different categories has Lack run for Zelda 1.
At one point, he had the world record for every category, every major category on the speedrun site, until our RC Drone took the big one away from him just earlier this year.
Yeah, that was definitely a story in itself, because RC Drone was a former world record holder and hadn't held the record for 5 years up to that point.
So Sharky found the silvers already.
He definitely picked the right path, and I honestly think having the any key was a plus for Sharky.
Any key plus boomstick. He was able to boomstick through a wall that Ellendar didn't have the chance to check, because when they got over here, they'd run out of bombs. Ellendar in chat with like, come on!
Fair enough, fair enough. I don't think Sharky's found Ganon, which would be in the southwest. And for other matches this week, we get to Thursday, and Game 2 of Magic Friends Angel FM is slated for that day at a time to be determined. with Thurwolf versus Sea Falcon Game 2 at 6. And then the following day will be their Game 3 of that same matchup at the same time, if necessary. And your Game 3 between yourself and Angel FM is slated for next Saturday at a time to be determined if necessary. Emphasis on if necessary.
I don't want it to be necessary. Well, unless I lose race 1, then I want it to be necessary.
I heard that. Because I've been in a few tournaments where I've had to force a Game 3 within the past few months, and I tell you, you get that win to force a Game 3, feels pretty good. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of experience in tournament for this, but I play Magic for, you know, my tag name is Magic Friends because I am a Magic judge for the card game, so I've had a lot of experience being in those pressure situations in the card game, and it really just, you know, sometimes you get in that, it gives you that mental, like, rush of being like, I can pull this off.
I happen to know somebody who plays Magic the Gathering Arena professionally on this site. But that's for another time. Sharky took a death to a Patra, and is now heading on a different route, it would appear.
Well, this is where he wants to go. He wants to go to the left and then work his way south from that spot.
Hits the wall to the south, nothing doing there. Unfortunately, the old man got the backlash from the boomstick, and now the fireballs are firing. Yeah, if he got bombed like left there, Fury, that would have made his life so much easier.
Well, now we're in a transport staircase. I don't think this one brings him any closer.
No, if anything, that threw him into the corner that Ellendar couldn't do anything with due to not having any bomb. And it is worth noting that the boomstick does cause a lot of flashing on the screen, so those of you who are photosensitive should probably be careful of that.
Turns out that staircase that Ellendar up-8 out of because of being out of bombs was only 2 segments long and completely blocked.
Yeah, sometimes those segments are quite lonely.
Oh, we found the drop you in the middle of a wizard room, and it took out Sharky the same way it took out Ellendar. Rude.
And I happen to have just the emote for that. And more of the same, this time a red Wizrobe. Those do 4 hearts of damage with their beams, the same as a high roll driver. So that's definitely something worth having the magic shield for, assuming you're facing it.
I'm really giving a lot of props to Sharky because he has GG'd Ellendar in chat. He does know that that Ellendar was able to finish, but you really got to give it to a racer who's like, no, I am not letting this seed defeat me. I'm not going to hit that FF button. I am going to stick this out, and I am going to puzzle my way through it.
Yeah, and that's good on him. I wasn't able to last tournament with those 2 seeds I lost some random effect on. And that was just because the seed had just given me all sorts of business, and I'm like, I felt like I was going to be there another good 30, 40 minutes. So I figured sometimes you just got to hit the mercy kill button.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with conceding. I find there's a lot of it. Just kind of shows a little bit of extra character. Like, yeah, you know, I may not be in first place in this seed, but I'm getting second. I'm not letting the seed beat me. And sometimes it's, you know, you have those constrictions of, well, okay, this is not worth my sanity.
Yeah, basically that's what the type of those particular seeds were, and I think Sharky's close. I think it's like 2 down.
Yeah, we want him to go south from this room.
I think.
We want him to go through the door south of this room. You can't just push your way through the wall.
Yeah, the corners of the doors are the real final boss in this game. Unless it's a bomb hole, then you just get sucked right into the vortex. And he hears him. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Ganon. It's a one-hitter tonight, as we saw on Ellendar's side. And there it is. We got Bacon and the Triforce of Power. Sharky is closing in on wrapping this one up. So folks, get your GGs in chat from Sharky. We'll have an SRL time for you shortly.
Took a little bit of damage getting up to the princess from those red wizwobes, so we actually have to kill the fire this time. Don't want to get booted out of there. Well played, Sharky. Good run.
Absolutely, the SRL time, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 58 seconds. That's a really good time for a seed. Just that, honestly, Ellendar literally had the inside track and just hit the jet seed perfectly, basically. Looks like Sharky's in the waiting. Just have to, Okay, so. So just a reminder that after this, we will be heading over to Randomania 2 to get hyped up for the Saver J. Coper match. And we are now joined by Sharky. GG, Sharky.
Well, yep, thanks. And GG's Ellendar for that win.
GG.
It was a good series.
Indeed.
This time it wasn't the bow that was the difference.
So, Sharky, how do you feel about your overworld exploration in that seed?
Well, dying early on when I was in Death Mountain pretty much was, I think, my biggest downfall, unfortunately. Otherwise, it was pretty decent seed, because I didn't explore quite a bit, too.
Yeah, that early death you took, I think you were leaving 4 and you got shot in the face by a lino.
Yeah, that was... And level 5 was up there as well. It's like, yeah. And level 3 was up there as well, as, and I didn't find it until the last thing, so kind of glad I found a bow in 3.
Yeah, it was going to be very hard for you to take out Ellendar in this seed. Ellendar very much routed this exceptionally well. They almost, I think the only thing they dug out that they didn't need to was about as much of 7 as you dug out.
And I don't remember what was in 7.
Neither does Ellendar.
Yeah, if anything, I would have thought that level 7, the item there was probably blocked by a dig dogger.
Yeah, I did see that Dig Dog already's like, you might have the item, and the heart drops are, hearts in this case. I did find the recorder in 8 later on, so
Yeah, your level 9 was actually a lot faster than Ellendar's. You were able to find a bomb hole to get to the silver arrows, whereas Ellendar had to take a very roundabout route and found, I think you said every staircase, Ellendar?
Except for the second item.
Yep. We never found Red Ring, which might have been past Ganon's room.
yeah, I'm assuming Red Ring was a 9. Silver's are, might as well assume Red Ring was a 9.
Well, we will still see you again in the tournament, Sharky. You are now down in the losers bracket, but you will be playing the Alan Heffley in the next round. Do you know anything about Alan?
Well, I know they're pretty strong in Z2 in that, and I've seen them play some of this rando, so I think I can make it. This should be an interesting match coming up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because Alan Heffley seems to be more around the Zelda 2 rando scene than the Zelda 1 rando scene, but that doesn't stop him from showing up year in, year out and putting on a show for us. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup to see who moves on.
Yeah, I would not be looking forward to the next match after that because by looking at seeding in that, it could be a possible rematch. I don't know offhand. I haven't looked at the brackets in some
Well,
time.
the winner of that, the person who would win your match, would then fight between the loser of Nochibado and it looks like King Doll and Almighty Babino are still in their match. So you've got a little while before that part of the bracket clears up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Kingdom pretty well because I've played him in the last tournament, actually twice, and got in it in the brackets. So Rando's gonna Rando pretty much.
Yeah, when we say there's no easy rounds in this matchup, it's truth.
Yep. I'm kind of glad in the seed the boomstick was a thing. So that made it easier finding a bomb wall and everything.
Yeah, Allendar did have to dip out of 9 to go pick up a couple bombs off the moblins in front of it.
Yeah, again, 0 HP enemies.
Right.
Well, the second
Yeah.
match was that because I picked it. The first one was it, and this one had to random it to it. So makes the combat way easier. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it helped to have basically everything 0 HP except for maybe I want to say Manhandla, which was like -2, I want to say.
Because I know Manhandla was vanilla, I believe.
Basically that, yeah.
I didn't even realize I started with a 1 at the first second. So me leaving 6 right off the bat's like, hold on a minute, I got a wand. Let me go back in here.
Yeah, you basically turned back around and were like, let me try that again.
And then it's pretty much get your ladder, get out because your bait blocked.
Except you weren't bait blocked because it was 6. That was the interesting part of that.
Yeah. Glad I had to go back in there. Yeah, because I was doing one of my maybe it wasn't 6. That was the bait block. It was another one. I only explored like a couple rooms. But then again, happy I don't have to go back in there. And that recorder wasn't too bad. At least it tells you where the dungeons that you already had the Triforce out of.
Yeah, thankfully the recorder did not send you to their vanilla location. I have seen that happen a few times in this tournament.
I've seen it myself. It's like, well, this is useless. The any roads were garbage.
Those any roads were like a big old thumbs down. They did not make the grade.
If it was one in Death Mountain, it would have been way nicer. But nope.
All right, racers. Thank you very much for putting on a great show. We are going to end up raiding into the game one of Jake Hopper and Saver in just a few minutes. Do either of you have anything else to say?
Well, Eleanor, good luck in your next match, and gotta have fun with it. And thanks for the commentary and the for the restream.
Yes, same to you. Good luck in your match, and as always, thanks for the commentary and restream. It's appreciated. I know
Yep.
the schedule today is difficult.
Yeah, the schedule today was loaded, but I missed a good part of the earlier action because I was at work. But it was definitely my pleasure as always to be able to do commentary, and good luck to both of you in your future matches.
Yep. I'm happy at least I won one game, so I could take that with me for this tournament.
Well, you've got 2 to 3 more chances, so we'll hopefully see a lot more of you on the Randomania networks.
Yep.
Absolutely, and feel free to follow our two runners, Sharky2107 and Ellendar. They're the stars of the show here. Otherwise, it's just a couple of guys talking about Zelda, random things about Zelda, and Zelda Randomizer. And also, feel free to give our restreamer, Fury, my co-com Magic friends, and Gary Oldwolf, our tracker, a follow as well. And you can feel free to follow me if you feel so inclined. So, with that, Magic friends, any final thoughts on the seed?
I thought it was a great race, and I'm thankful to be able to shoutcast it. And I will see everybody over on the Saver JK race while I track it. So I'll be in the background for that one too.
I will be watching that one because, oh boy, I was looking at the schedule last night, and that was the race that stood out to me the most as being the marquee premier race of the evening. And we've got two fantastic commentators calling it. It's going to be awesome. You do not want to miss it. So stay tuned for that, folks. Watch out for Lionel's. And for those of you who celebrate it, Happy Easter. For those of you that don't, you're probably going to be enjoying tomorrow off, which is a good way to relax.
Yep, head over to Randomania 2. That's where we'll be in about 10 minutes. And have a good night.
Yep, see you next time, folks. Take care.